So I'm here now. I found you, Daddy. And guess what? I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wow, that was weird.
Elf is a 2003 Christmas comedy film directed by Jon Favreau that would find large box office success and would be acclaimed as one of the greatest Christmas films of all time. On Christmas Eve in the early 1970s, a baby at an orphanage crawls into the bag of Santa Claus, played by Edward Asner. Taken back to the North Pole, he is discovered by the elves who name him Buddy after his diaper brand label. Papa Elf, played by Bob Newhart, adopts him and raises him at the North Pole.
Yes, I raised Buddy. I was his adopted father. Though Buddy grew twice as fast, he wasn't any different from the other children.
Not too fast, Buddy.
I mean, not really.
Growing up believing he is an elf, Buddy, played by Will Ferrell, eventually finds out that he is a human.
Buddy, I think we have to talk. Buddy, I think there's something I probably should tell you. Probably should have found out a long time ago.
Papa Elf explains to him that his birth parents are Walter Hobbs and Susan Wells, the latter of whom put Buddy up for adoption before she died. His father, Walter, now works as a children's book publisher at the Empire State Building in New York City and is unaware of Buddy's existence. Santa informs Buddy that his father is on the naughty list this year due to his father's selfishness.
People, they just lose sight of what's important in life. That doesn't mean they can't find their way again, huh? Maybe all they need is just a little Christmas spirit.
Well, I'm good at that.
I know you are.
And I'll always be here for you. Now, go. Get.
Buddy decides to leave the North Pole and travel south to find his father in New York City. Buddy meets his father, Walter, played by James Caan.
It's me, your son. Susan Wells had me, and she didn't tell you, but now I'm here. It's me, Buddy.
Susan Wells. You said Susan Wells?
Yes.
Who sent this Christmasgram?
What's a Christmasgram? I want one.
I think we should call security.
Good idea. I like to whisper, too.
Security promptly kicks him out of the building, jokingly telling him to go to the Gimbel's department store. Upon arrival, the manager at Gimbel's, played by Faizan Love, mistakes Buddy for an employee, while Buddy becomes love-struck by an employee named Jovi, played by Zooey Deschanel.
Are you enjoying the view?
You are very good at decorating that tree.
Why are you messing with me? Did Crumpet put you up to this?
I'm not messing with you. It's just nice to meet another human who shares my affinity for elf culture.
I'm just trying to get through the holidays.
Get through? Christmas is the greatest day in the whole wide world.
Please stop talking to me.
Uh-oh. Sounds like someone needs to sing a Christmas carol.
No way.
Buddy decorates the department store overnight, preparing for Santa's arrival the next day. When he sees that the Santa, played by Artie Lang, is a fake, a fight ensues.
You're a big boy. What's your name?
Paul.
And what can I get you for Christmas?
Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar.
Let the kid talk.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
Just cool it, Zippy.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Look, I'm not kidding.
You're a fake.
I'm a fake?
Yes.
How'd you like to be dead? Huh? No, he's kidding.
You stink.
I think you're gonna have a good Christmas, all right?
You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
Okay.
He's an imposter! He's a fake! He's a fake!
Ending up in jail, Walter bails Buddy out and takes him for a blood test discovering that Buddy is indeed his son. Taking him home, Walter introduces Buddy to his wife Emily, played by Mary Steenburgen, and his son Michael, played by Daniel Tay.
So where were you for the last 30 years?
The North Pole.
Can you pass the maple syrup, please?
I didn't put... It's spaghetti.
You know what? I think I have something.
Yes.
So, will you be staying with us then?
You mean I can stay?
Of course you can.
Emily.
How long do you think you'll be with us?
I hadn't really planned it out, but I was thinking, like, forever.
Emily.
Walter also tries to persuade Buddy to stop telling everyone he is an elf.
Are you crazy? He cannot stay here.
Clearly, he has some serious issues. We can't just throw him out in the snow.
Why not? He loves the snow. He's told me 15 times.
Walter, he's your son.
Did you hear that?
You are so weird.
Buddy takes Jovi on a date throughout New York City and grows closer with Michael. As Christmas fast approaches, Buddy does his best to grow closer to his father and to get him off the naughty list with Christmas cheer. The script for this movie was written in 1993 and optioned for a year by an independent company which wanted Chris Farley to play the role of Buddy. The script ended up on the desk of John Berg, who was an executive at New Line Cinema and convinced his studio to buy it. Producer Todd Komarnicki would later suggest Will Ferrell for the main role. Since none of those men had ever made a movie, New Line Cinema was skeptical, but they still greenlit it with a $30 million budget. This was screenwriter David Birnbaum's first ever script. Birnbaum was raised Jewish, but his family always celebrated Christmas. Birnbaum's father died when he was only 8 years old, so the story was really about finding and connecting with one's father. He was a huge fan of 1964's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass, to which Elf plays homage. That was an oversight when the studio's legal department informed them that no permission had been obtained from Rudolph's copyright holders. Eventually, all legal issues were cleared when they found out that Rudolph was never properly copyrighted, containing an error in the Roman numerals of its copyright notice, so the movie could freely include elements from it. Many of the sets were built twice, once much larger for the actors playing the elves, and once slightly smaller for the normal-sized actors. The real Gimbels, famous as Macy's longtime Herald Square rival, went out of business in 1986. Filming in New York City lasted only 14 days. The remainder was filmed at studios in Burnaby and Vancouver, British Columbia. The movie was filmed from December 2002 to March 2003. New Line Cinema really wanted the filmmakers to cast Katie Holmes as Jovi, but she declined. During casting, Zooey Deschanel was selected because she could also sing. Contrary to popular belief, Zooey Deschanel's hair is not naturally blonde. She dyed it blonde for a project that was never released and did her audition for this film as a blonde. The studio did not want her to change it back because they hired her based on footage of her as a blonde. Gary Shandling was the first choice for the role of Walter, but he turned it down. The second choice was James Caan, who accepted the role. Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd were also considered. Will Ferrell said in an interview that James Caan barely had to act in the film because he was genuinely annoyed with Will Ferrell. According to Will Ferrell, at the movie's premiere, James Caan approached him and said he thought Ferrell's performance was too over the top and that he didn't really understand Will Ferrell's sense of humor. Will Ferrell thought that James Caan's real-life aggravation with him made the film a better movie.
Dad! Dad!
What?
I can't go to sleep unless I get tucked in.
What?
I can't go to sleep unless I get tucked in.
I am not going to tuck you in.
Steve Buscemi and James Garner were reputedly considered for the role of Santa Claus. The role went to actor Edward Asner. James Caan and Ed Asner had previously starred together in the 1966 film El Dorado. Wanda Sykes was originally slated to play the Gimbels' manager, but she backed out at the last minute. She was replaced by Faizon Love, who insisted on still wearing the name tag made for Sykes, which is why his name tag says Wanda. This was Bob Newhart's final theatrically released film. Bob Newhart said he knew the movie would become a Christmas classic. He loved the script, and he believed in it from the beginning. Newhart claimed that of all the fan mail he received in the 21st century, half of it was usually for Elf. Released into theaters November 7, 2003, Elf grossed a total of $228.9 million, making it an enormous box office hit. This made Elf among the top 10 grossing films of 2003 in the United States. Will Ferrell and director Jon Favreau had frequent disagreements about the tone of the movie. Will Ferrell wanted a more cynical PG-13 comedy, while Jon Favreau wanted something more lighthearted and family-friendly. Will Ferrell's feeling that he and Jon Favreau didn't work well together is why a proposed sequel never happened, despite this film being a huge hit. In late 2014, Will Ferrell turned down $29 million to do a sequel to this film. I saw this movie when it was released new on DVD in the fall of 2004, and I found it funny. James Caan and Bob Newhart never fail to be great on screen. Zooey Deschanel is very cute. I like her better with blonde hair. And Will Ferrell's insanity does make me laugh. I would likely give this a high 8-star rating, but due to the fact that it quickly became known as not just a Christmas classic, but among the greatest Christmas films of all time, I will go ahead and give it 10 out of 10 stars. I highly recommend the 2003 Christmas classic, Elf.